I'm going to Springfield and I'm going to Aurora. You may never see me again, but that's okay. Got to do what I got to do. Whatever happened to Trump? Well, he never got out of Springfield.
Well, if only he had gone to Springfield 8 years ago. Well, as much as Donald Trump continues to plug the city of Springfield, Ohio, why, you'd think Jared Kushner was lining up to buy what's left of the place after Trump and Vance and his cruel minions lay waste to this now infamous site of what's become the ground zero destination for the GOP hate-filled tour of 2024. And over on CNN earlier today, one of Trump's most stalwart surrogates gets fact-checked in real time. Well, and you'll see his bluster deflate like it does on all of Trump's windbag proxies. In this case, it's Trump lickspittle Mark Lauder, communications director for the America First Policy Institute.
We will put America first, always.
It's going to be only America first. America first.
So, like the bombastic bone spur warrior that he genuflects toward, Lauder's bold and arrogant pontifications would be served back to him with a side of indignation from fact-checking host Kate Baldwin and her shame-casting commentator Karen Finney. Since we've come to see Vice President Harris and Tim Walz in action, as a sidebar, don't these tired old white guys just seem like tired old white guys by comparison? Well, no sympathy, though, as we're about to see from earlier today on CNN. Just because you're out of touch doesn't mean that the reach of your divisive rhetoric is any less extensive. And Lauder learns that firsthand, right here, right now.
Donald Trump now promises that he's going to be going to Springfield, Ohio in the next 2 weeks to continue to lean on what the Republican governor has said is a bunch of garbage in terms of these conspiracy theories about immigrants eating pets. Why would you advise him to go and do that?
Absolutely, I would advise him to go because what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, what's going on in Aurora, Colorado, it's not just about a specific incident. It's about what we see these unchecked immigration doing to these communities as people are fighting for housing,
No, it definitely has to do with specific things, Mark. Come on. I have officially entered the realm of gaslighting. I have good friends and analysts now coming out over the past 2 days telling me what is reality is not reality. Mark, the governor says it's garbage. They say what happened there there are no pets being eaten in Springfield, so it is an embodiment or a representation of absolutely zero.
Well, you do have a community of 60,000 people that have had 15 to 20,000 Haitian immigrants dumped into that community, and you have residents there who are worried. They are facing reduced services. They are seeing their parks overrun. You do have there's discussions about people who are squatting on people's yards. There's a lot of problems there. Look at what's going on in Aurora, Colorado, where you have Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes. These are very real consequences, and a lot of very small, middle-sized communities are struggling under it.
So Kate. Karen, you definitely respond. But are you happy then, in a political sense, even though it is probably dangerous for the community potentially, that Donald Trump continues to lean on this?
No, it's disgusting and shameful, and it is endangering the lives of children and families. Shame on him and shame on J.D. Vance. Because here's the truth: nobody dumped people on Springfield, Ohio. Businesses in Ohio had job shortages. They were recruiting Haitian migrants who are here in this country legally to come to help fill what are menial labor jobs that people who live there didn't want to do. That's what happened. What they need, as the mayor himself said, is help, not hate, not the KKK showing up, not the Proud Boys showing up. And let's be very clear about what Trump is doing. This actually has nothing to do with a conversation about immigration reform. This is a political tactic. We've seen it cycle after cycle leading up to an election where you demonize, dehumanize, and lie about migrants to scare people. But the thing is, if you stop, what you realize is you're not hearing real solutions from Donald Trump. What you're hearing, again, is lies and hate, but you're not hearing As the VP said, asked in that clip you showed, okay, so you're going to do mass deportations. How are you going to do that? Are cops going to go house to house and just pull people out of their homes? How are they going to decide who's here legally and who's here not legally? Is it going to be deportation camps? I'm telling you, like, it's a disaster. And who's going to pay for it, by the way?
Start with the criminals.
Start
with the criminals and the gang members. That's what they're going to do. That's what the American people want.
Right. People don't want people don't like criminals.
No.
I think polling would suggest people don't like criminals,
yes.
mostly.
Fair.
But you're going to have to define what a criminal is, because some of the immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, are being wrongfully labeled criminals by Donald Trump.
It's a fact that, look, there are so many communities out there that are struggling to keep up with services, whether it's New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, wherever. Now we're seeing it going into smaller communities. People are worried. They're seeing their tax dollars going to support illegal immigrants or immigrant communities that are in their communities while their services are being reduced. Their schools are being filled with folks. Their students aren't able to learn. They can't go to parks. They do see an increase in criminal activity in their homes, traffic problems in Springfield, Ohio. All of these things are documented and real, and by Donald Trump highlighting the problems. That's what we're talking about here. Kamala Harris wants to let more in.
No,
that's not. Just on a factual basis, it's not highlighting a problem. It's not, because factually it's not happening in Springfield. Go find your problem elsewhere then, if you want to have the factoid. That's my point. It's not, Mark, that there isn't problems with immigration in this country right now. Democrats and Republicans agree with that. But it's finding examples that don't exist that is the problem here, which is why I'm saying strategically it seems.
There are 12 million people here illegally, many of them unvetted. We've got young women who've been murdered.
You at least think it's 12 million, not 22 million that Donald Trump is now talking about, right?
I can show 12. It could be up to 20. Who knows? But I know at least that there are 12.
But I think, can we get back? But I think what the issue is, we need comprehensive immigration reform that includes a path to citizenship for those people who are here legally, who are here with temporary status. How do we decide? Mark, stop. Then we also need to take care of our DACA kids. We need border security. We can have all of these things and we can have a conversation about them without dehumanizing, demonizing, and lying about people and scaring people. And I would also remind you, Mark, that the bill that the Republicans walked away from would have actually provided about, I think it was like $14 million in that bill to provide services for cities like Springfield to handle the influx.
It would have allowed 5,000 more illegal immigrants per day. It would have allowed 5,000 more illegal immigrants per day.
Happy Thursday, because this is really clearing things up for folks. Thanks, guys. Karen, Mark, let's do it again.
Yeah, that was Mark Lauder, former director of strategic communications for the 2020 Trump campaign. He's living proof that Donald only hires the best people with the worst instincts.